as we think about that mission and what matters, when we think about assessment and measurement and data, which is all of our favorite topics, right, in research, why we became teachers so we could use data and research, not always. When we think about personalizing our data and examine and understand what matters to you personally and to your community, and then think and ask the question, how are my students achieving this definition of success? How can we better capture and quantify and use that voice for our own teaching? And so if we think like a researcher, we might ask, how do we measure the success? How do we communicate success of our students? And similarly, if we're introducing new practices, which we've heard a lot of, we've all got new ideas, we're all making action plans for where we go with this. How do we know if those new practices are having their intention? If they're making the difference that we hope they're having? So again, this researcher mindset. And so getting to meet Priscilla and learning about the school and the vision of a Scola concept provided this opportunity and this challenge. Could we take the researcher mindset and boil it down and make it transferable and meaningful to classroom teachers who are busy dealing with the problems of everyday life, spills, missing assignments, boo-boos, all the things you deal with every day? Could we make research something that was integral and important to teachers? And it has been such a journey, and you've heard about this journey. And the idea behind this wasn't that we just wanted to have data everywhere, and we love data. I mean, I do love data, but we wanted to engage teachers. We wanted this to be an opportunity to build their capacity, to build their infrastructure, and to ultimately build a culture in this school that allows teachers the capacity and tools to measure what matters. Because teachers are natural data collectors. And I know this as being that student who was not doing well and knew teachers were always keeping an eye on me and knew when I'd start to put my head down, they'd raise their voice. And they had strategies where they're working in real time around the data that they're collecting. So what we're talking about isn't replacing any of that. It's simply augmenting and informing and thinking about this researcher mindset and not making questions that are data-driven, but what we like to think about is data-informed. How do you know that the policies, the choices that you're making, the impacts are as you expect and see? Can there be data to help inform your decisions? And again, it's not to replace anything else. Teachers are really good at collecting and processing data without any other tools, but we're trying to augment that. We're trying to, as Ruben might say, move up the ladder a little bit, right? Think about how technology and other resources can extend our ideas and promote them. That's my latest project right now. We've just launched a research study in 35 schools around the world. I think it's 20 different countries where they're implementing a pretty new package of resources to build metacognition skills in kids. And I don't know, particularly, as never taught or knowing how to implement that, we're trying to study its outcome and provide data and dashboard tools so the teachers can do exactly what you're describing. So you hit the nail on our head, and if you come see me, I'll give you the website to share. So thanks for that. So at a Scola concept, I've helped work with the school leaders and the teachers and even the kids to think about defining success. And as just one quick example, last year, we did a student survey, and we just talked with teachers and we talked to leaders about what we might want to measure. And then the team I work with created this beautiful dashboard that we then gave back to teachers and we gave back to leadership, and we led exercises and workshops to use this information. And so some of the ways that we collected and some of the measures that we collected, along with the data, and this is full transparency, this is every kid who took the survey. You can see, what do we have, 349 kids from grades 1 through 5, largely at San Paulo and Ribeirão Preto campus, but we had a few from Salvador as well. And we're measuring things like their overall happiness with classes in their school. I have felt cheerful and in good spirits. I have felt calm and relaxed. I love going to school every day. My classes were really interesting to me. My overall mental health, I wake up feeling refreshed. I'm a good sport. I think you get the idea. We're giving kids the opportunity to self-reflect on how they feel and how they experience school in the class. And we're empowering teachers and empowering schools with that information. Because one thing that this does is it's a live filtering tool. So if I just wanted to see results from third grade, I would just hit that third grade button, and then we'd look at third grade. Or if I just wanted to look at Hebrew Preto's results, I could click that campus. So the idea is this is dynamic, and it supports ongoing discussion and reflection in the school. So that's exciting. And it just shows the breadth of the kind of thinking around assessment and success that we have here. Another that you're familiar with is HoloTracker. And it was so exciting last year to introduce HoloTracker to Escola Concept because we were actually doing a randomized control research study, and we were looking for ways of measuring what was going on in the classroom. And so there was over nearly 2,000 tracks that were logged over about a 3-month period. Interestingly, nearly 80% of those observations, these are teachers tracking students or giving observations about students, nearly 80% of those were positive. And we associated, instead of tracking those 3 themes that we're using for our conference, we actually put in the social skills that the younger kids were working with. So these are associated with and relate back to the themes of the mission and the vision of the school, and with the habits of mind, which are used in the upper elementary school grades. So we're able to provide data at the student level or at the classroom level or grade or school, however we want to slice or dice this data, around the measures and the indicators that the school has selected for themselves. This is a big difference from the 1980 report card, if you don't realize, right? And even more impressive,